Okay, so we've got this far and covered a lot. The equipment, setting it all up, getting the best out of it, laying down a song, mixing and mastering it, and a whole load of other stuff along the way. The final song has been bounced down and exported at a commercial release ready quality, so now's the time to introduce it to the world via Spotify, Apple Music and iTunes, Amazon Music, Deezer, Tidal and more. Now you can't just upload songs to Spotify or Apple Music yourself, you have to go through a dedicated digital music distribution service or an aggregator. Choosing the right digital music distribution company can be a minefield, but don't worry, I've researched all this too and I've looked into about 15 of the main ones and narrowed it down to just 2 for you. The 2 distribution companies I recommend are DistroKid and CD Baby. These 2 companies just happen to be 2 of the biggest and the best. CD Baby were the first digital music distribution company to arrive back in 1998. Then TuneCore arrived next in 2005. But there are loads of music distribution companies around these days. DistroKid arrived in 2013, but they now distribute the most music in the world by far. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the pros and cons of all 15 companies that I researched, but I will just bullet point a few things for you. I've read some not so great things about several companies, but I won't go into all the negatives about them or start flaming them here. Some of the other companies that I looked at that seem pretty good are 1RPM, Root Note, Symphonic Distribution, Spare Music and TuneCore. But these were all runners-up to CD Baby and DistroKid for a multitude of reasons. I'll use TuneCore as one such example. They're just too expensive, way too expensive, so I dismissed TuneCore for that reason alone. Horace Music, a UK-based company that I haven't mentioned yet, well, I wanted to go with them as they're based in my country, but I dismissed them based on some of the questionable things that their ex-customers have said about them. It wasn't good reading, and it wasn't just the odd 1 or 2 negative comment, it was quite a lot. I've also heard and read negative things about Ditto too. Another company I haven't mentioned yet is AWOL, which is another British music distribution company owned by Sony Music Entertainment. But AWOL, which stands for Artists Without a Label, are geared more towards artists and bands who already have some traction and a good following. They're quite selective with their artists they take on, but if you're already established with a decent fan base and a decent bit of material, it might be worth looking them up. I've mentioned these other companies because I want you to know that I researched them all fastidiously over several days, sending emails to many of them so you don't have to. Okay, so back to my top 2, CD Baby and DistroKid. Just like all the other music distribution companies out there, CD Baby and DistroKid do not have any phone support. This is normal for companies, so any technical questions or difficulties that you might encounter will have to be done via their website's ticket system. From experience, both these companies seem to take about 2 days to reply, but then you can just reply to that email. With regard to signing up and using their systems, I'd say that DistroKid is a little bit easier. You sign up with your name and email and postal address, which is straightforward enough, so is uploading a song, which I'll show you shortly. DistroKid is just a little bit more straightforward with this regard, as it's just a single page, whereas CD Baby seems to have more pages for the same thing. DistroKid is perhaps a trifle more intuitive, but you'll manage just fine with either of these 2 companies. The key difference between CD Baby and DistroKid is the pricing structure, and Google is full of CD Baby or DistroKid comparisons, but from all the comparisons I've read, they all seem to be missing one key vital piece of information. In a nutshell, DistroKid charges just under $20 per year subscription for a single band or artist, and for that you can upload as many singles or albums as you like, and they don't take any commission from your royalties either. They pay every cent or penny, if you're in the UK like me, directly into your bank account or into a PayPal account. This is money that would be earned via songs downloaded and paid for via Apple iTunes, for example, or from any of the streaming services that pays, such as Spotify. CD Baby, on the other hand, don't charge any annual subscription fees. Instead, they charge per song or per album upload. They charge just under $30 to upload a single song using their Pro Single option, as opposed to their standard single option, which is just under $10. But the latter, cheaper option does not include worldwide royalty collection and a few other things. Uploading an album is $29 for their standard service and $69 for their Pro service, and on top of that, CD Baby will also keep 9% of your royalties too. Now you might be thinking, this isn't so bad, at least they don't have a recurring $19.99 yearly subscription fee. But consider this, just under $20 is already cheaper than uploading just one song using CD Baby's Pro Single service. And DistroKid does not keep any of your royalties, they pay all of it to you, 100% of it. But this is where the argument comes in. People often recommend CD Baby as that one-off payment will keep your song live and online forever. You never have to pay anything to them ever again. But with DistroKid, if you cancel your $19.99 per year subscription, then all your music will come down. But DistroKid have a feature that people seem to forget about when it comes to the old CD Baby versus DistroKid debate, and that's the fact that DistroKid has what they call a Leave a Legacy option, where you can pay a one-time payment of $29 per single, and DistroKid will make sure that that single remains live and online forever, even if you cancel your $19.99 yearly subscription. And then they will continue making royalty payments into your bank account. And the good thing is about the Leave a Legacy option is that you don't have to do it at the time you upload the single. You can just log into your DistroKid account at any time in the future and click any given song and simply add it. So with this in mind, for me, DistroKid comes out on top, because even with the legacy payments, if you decide to use the option, they still come out cheaper and they don't keep a percentage of your royalties. When you start to dig deep, it's easy to understand why DistroKid distributes more music in the world than any other digital music distribution company. Okay, and for the record, I'm not getting paid a penny from any of these companies, so I won't be telling you to head on over to their site and use a special code to save 25% just so I can get a little kickback, as there are no kickbacks here, and you won't find any affiliate links to any of these companies' websites in the description below either. So both CD Baby and DistroKid are my top two choices, but for me, DistroKid wins out, but at the end of the day, you can check out both of them for yourself and then decide. One final note, pun intended, don't release albums not unless you have an amazing dark side of the moon kind of statement to make. You're way better off just getting your music out there more regularly. Like a new song every month or every 2 months, whatever fits in with your songwriting schedule. It's far better to do this than to release a new album every year, simply because these days fans are impatient and they expect more music on a regular basis than they did 30 years ago.